In the previous section, we were using a Terraform to create a Sagemaker domain. On today's section, we are going to see how to use the Sagemaker domain, launch a Jupyter notebook, and run a sample machine learning pipeline. So come here, you can go to the Sagemaker, go to the domain, and it will create the domain which was created by a Terraform. Then it'll come here, launch the studio, it launch the Jupyter lab. Then once you launch it, go to the git, run the open git repository in terminal. It'll open the terminal. Then you run this git clone command. You can take a git from here. You can take a git clone command. It will download the sample notebook from this particular repository. So this is a sample notebook, SageMaker pipeline.ipynb file. We are going to run this SageMaker notebook, which will create the required resources. So I'll go highly walk through this code, then I will show you from the SageMaker console. Okay, so I'll go high level cell by cell. So we are installing the SageMaker, then we are importing the required library, NumPy and Panda. Then we are initializing the session, then downloading the California dataset. And as part of this dataset, what we are trying to predict is we are trying to predict median house value. And these are all the features which give a latitude, longitude, house median age, total room, total bedroom, population, household, and median income. Based on that, it will give you the prediction. And here we are parameterizing the pipeline execution, like some parameter needed, where is the input data, and whether the model to be approved or not, and what kind of instance type we are going to use, how much count we are going to use, and what is the accuracy method we are going to use. These are all parameterizing. First we are initializing the parameters, then the next one is the future engineering. This, I would say, this is a pre-process step, or the EDA / pre-process. We are doing it. We are reading the data and making changes and using a standard scaler to bringing the value to the standard scale. And we are using scikit-learn to do this one. And this is the pre-process steps. Okay. And once the pre-process step is done, we will store the data into the particular certain S3 bucket, and we split the data into the test and train. And this Python library, this step will create the preprocess.py file, which is needed for our execution. So still I'm not running a pipeline, I'm just creating a preprocess. Then I'm building a code for training the model. So here, this is my predicted feature. The feature which I want to predict is median house value. So I'm giving you the argument, what is the epoch value, learning rate, batch size, and what is the test data, what is the train data, all those information, and where the model need to be saved, every information I'm giving you. So here I'm training the data, testing the data. I'm using a Keras API on top of the TensorFlow API to do this one. You can see we are training the model. And here we are building the code. You can see we are building a train.py file. The next step is use that file and create and do the training job. Then the same thing, we create evaluation for the test set, and we will check whether the evaluation. The first step is create the file. The next step is to run the evaluation of the data. Then the next step is register the model. We will make sure that the condition, whether the model is coming with a required value. After that, we register the model. So once registered the model, we will run here. So far we did the definition. Here only we are going to run the pipeline. So we did the definition. Now we are orchestrating all the steps via pipeline. So you can see it is using the same role we have used before, and pipeline start and execute. So I just read the code. I did the same thing here. I ran all the cells which is needed. So after this, you can see the complete step was ran, and you will see come to the training job. We can see the training job ran, and it will give you what is an image which is used for the training, which is using a TensorFlow, and what is instance type used, where it taken the train data, where it taken the test data, all the information you can see it from here. At the same time, we run a pre-processing job. So you come here to the processing job. This is where the first step ran. You can see it will pre-process the data, profile the data, and model the data. For the pre-processed data, you can see we are using a scikit-learn. I have explained you. So it use the pre-processed Python file, and it take the input as a raw and run the code, use a scalar model, and store the data back to the train data and the test data into the S3 bucket, this S3 bucket. Okay, so now this we were seeing from the AWS console. Here we are seeing it from the Jupyter console. You go to this particular tab and click on the, let's go to the pipeline. So you can see this is executed. The pipeline got executed and it succeeded, taken 37 minutes to execute fully end to end. And you can click on it. It will give you the graph, pre-process the data, and then TensorFlow model data, data evaluation, the model performance, and then store if there is a threshold is condition met, it will register the model. So the pipe, you can see this is a DAG. You can see you can, if they have multiple steps, you can add as part of the pipeline steps. Then come to the after the pipeline, you can see the experiments. This is a very important thing. You can click on experiments. Every experiments will be saved as part of the sorry, I opened multiple tabs. Okay, experiments. Click on those experiments. It will give you the metrics. We're not doing any. Okay, here it is. For each experiment, if you are running the same model again, it will give you the metrics. What is a loss? What is a batch? What is a standard deviation? All the information will be provided. And then in a pre-process, there won't be any output. Only on the training you can see the metrics. Okay, it will help you to compare the next run. Okay, the model registry. Once the model is run, it will register to the Sagemaker registry, and if the approved, it will create the deployment. So it created the deployment, which is a real-time endpoint. You can see the data. You can use the test data and validate the prediction. Here I ran the job. I created, this is running the job. I use the raw data and then the test and then a sample test. It give you the what is the predicted value and what is the actual value. It giving a comparison. So this pipeline will help you to orchestrate the complete machine learning life cycle, right from the exploring the data to process the data, then run the machine learning model, train, test, evaluate, and then up to the deployment. So the whole life cycle will be taken care from the SageMaker pipeline. So I want to show you the endpoint here. Under the inference, go to the endpoints. I think I've deleted. No, still it is there. You can see it is deployed. Okay. Make sure you are running the deletion command, otherwise you will be charged a lot. I really don't want to get charged. Okay. So if you're running the cleanup, go back. Okay, good, it deleted. So that's all for the today's session, and hope you guys have a high level understanding of how to use the SageMaker Studio and how to run a sample SageMaker pipeline. So stay tuned. In the further session, we will deep dive into the SageMaker Studio because that is where the landing page of the data scientist. We will understand how we can use it effectively. Thank you.